And welcome back to SoCalCollegeSports.com coverage of the 3C2A State Soccer Final Four. Joe Hickey, Emery Johnson here with you, getting ready to take you through Game 2 of our semifinal Friday doubleheader. This match pits the number 3 seed from the South, although they are the top remaining seed, and they're the state champions from 2019, the Hawks of Santiago Canyon College. They'll be taking on the number 2 seed from the Northern California bracket, the undefeated champions of the Big 8, Mustangs of San Joaquin Delta. When we get the video feed up and running, you'll see their jerseys. Santiago Canyon will be in the blue over black and black. San Joaquin Delta head-to-toe silver with black numbers. This is a rematch of last year's second state semifinal, just like it is this season here. The Delta College team returning 18 sophomores from that club, and they have expressed in conversations throughout the season a desire to try to right a wrong. They lost in a 2-1 defeat, largely owed to a disallowed goal on a very, very close offside call. Canyon, in the meanwhile, in the odd position of being both the defending champions and the underdogs, at least at this point here in the bracket. They've had what they call a down year. Admittedly, it's 16-3-3, which give me that down year any day of the week. But they have, for the first time in 15 years, not won their conference title. They're coming in, again, as the 3 seed rather than up top as they're accustomed to. And of the teams remaining, they're the only one that isn't both in the top 5 in attack and top 5 in defense. They are 12th and 14th, respectively. So a little bit of an uphill battle for them. Emery, what are you excited to see about this one, given the storylines coming into it?
Well, I am slightly let down because we will not have a repeat of last year based on the matchup coming up. However, I am very excited to watch some NorCal soccer because this has been a game that I kind of circled once we got everything all wrapped up and ready to go, because you do kind of get that parity where Canyon has that opportunity to finally, well, not finally, but, you know, in a bad year, they have a chance to prove something. And, you know, when you talk about the amount of returners coming back to certain teams, that also makes a big impact. And Canyon, in their current status, has a chance to possibly come away with an upset win. And, you know, I always love the chance of an upset, and I always love the chance of an underdog championship. That's one of my favorite things in all of professional sports, even college sports and high school sports, is the fact that most coaches have been game planning for the most likely opponent in that championship game, and now all of a sudden you can throw a wrench into the spokes of the whole operation based on the result of this game. If we get something good, then I'll be very excited for tomorrow.
And, of course, that already happened for us in our first game. The number 1 seed from the North, one of only 3 remaining undefeated teams. One of them is going to stay undefeated till the end because they were sent out of the tournament after an undefeated regular season by way of penalty kicks. So Cyprus is never going to lose a game, but I don't think that they feel great about that, given that their season is over.
No, I would not assume they do.
Yeah. But yes, the undefeated start for Tahoe comes to an end. Their season to an end in the first game earlier today. A win for the Olympians of San Diego Mesa. Going to be in their first ever championship game and qualified for it with a fantastic second half, a great reaction to a lot of Tahoe dominance in the first half, and eventually what turned out to be an own goal. With 5 minutes to go. I
wanted to bring that up, as you know, especially with the drama of the situation, and an own goal when it looked as if Tahoe was staying strong on defense. They certainly had their best players out on the field. That is a given, but their goalkeeper was playing out of her head in the gloves. Smith.
Yeah, Maddie Smith.
Yeah, Maddie Smith, and she was playing unbelievable, and it was quite literally her own teammate who was the person who was going to make her lose the confrontation. So that was a great game earlier on, if you were able to catch it today, but we are excited to bring another one to you. And Joe, I'll let you take away the play-by-play once we get set to kick off here.
All right, and we'll get you the formations right now. So for the San Joaquin Delta Mustangs in the silver jerseys and shorts and the darker gray, is that slate? Is that anthracite? I can't even tell the difference anymore. They are going to be starting with the following formation. It's the same one they've run out for the first 3 rounds of the playoffs. Marcellus Alice Salyer, who will be in a all-gold goalkeeper kit, the number 1. Your defensive line consisting of the 6, Aaliyah Raphael, the 2, Allison Bischoff, the 21, Brooklyn Grabato, and the 8, Cindy Alvarez, the lockdown center back, according to Coach Adrian Sorensen. In the midfield, we're going to see Nyla Staples, the 31, Kira Huppman, the holding mid, 15, Kylie Zentner, the 20. And then up front, a trio of forwards that the coaching staff for Delta have just talked about loving watching them work. They're very fluid. They often don't really need to be told an awful lot what to do. They just seem to understand each other. 2 of them have been working together now for 2 years, Jay Herr, the 4, and Jalen Mesa, the 5. The center forward, the only freshman in the starting lineup, we told you, lots of sophomores on this team, is the 10, Diana Hernandez. She is one of their 2 leading scorers with 15 on the season and had a hat trick in the first round against Reedley. Taking a look over at the Santiago Canyon Hawks. They will start Ariana Radia in goal. She returned from injury after missing the first half of the season, supplanting Emily Diplock. She is 7th in the 3C2A in goals against average and 15th in save percentage in the time she's been there, .400 the goals against average. The team 9-1 since her return on October 25th. The defense will be consisting of Jacqueline Alba Diaz, the 7, Caitlin Lopez, the 11, Maddie Myers, the 13, and Kendra Kurth, the 18. The midfield is a bit of a mystery because, at least by the roster I was provided, it looks like they've got 2 midfielders and 4 forwards. We'll see where they're going to line up exactly. The 2 midfielders in name are the Ross Kelly sisters, Ashley, number 8, and Hannah, number 21. You may have just heard Mother Laurie behind us here at the SoCal College Sports booth. Had a nice chance to talk to her in the pregame. Alex Vanis, Tara Hansel, Chloe Helenihi, and Brianna Diaz, the 16, 20, 23, and 24, will be starting, as I said, some of them in the forward line, probably at least one of them in the midfield. Vanis and Helenihi, the scorers in the game against Santa Barbara City College in the last round that brought Canyon to this point. One huddle has broken, the other one appears to be in the midst of doing so. And we've got a pretty good presence here. The geographically closest team to this tournament here in Cupertino is San Joaquin Delta, coming from Stockton. Otherwise, you've got 2 SoCal teams and Tahoe. So good presence of the D squad, as they call themselves.
You wouldn't assume that they would come out in a 4-2-3-1 formation, would you?
That seems like it could be a possibility. We're going to try and get a sense of it here.
Maybe if they have those forwards actually playing forward, and you might have that true lone striker at the front. That would be fairly interesting, wouldn't it?
Certainly would require some adjustments potentially for Coach Sorensen's side.
Yep.
So from what we can see, at least right now, as San Joaquin Delta get ready to kick off, they will be going from right to left across your YouTube scroll bar. Just about ready for action. I think it is Kylie Zentner at the center of the pitch, ready to bring us into motion. Although officially the person who's going to bring us into motion in the orange over black and black kit is our center official, Peter Pellet. He is assisted today by Chris Aris and Lee Berg on the sidelines, and John Jusson, our 4th official.
Did you say Pele?
Pellet. Yeah. I think it's Italian. Pretty sure there's a striker. We are underway here in our second semifinal. I'm pretty sure there's an Italian striker by that name.
I would assume.
Graziano Pellet. Immediately, Santiago Canyon trying to get onto the front foot. Ball cleared away by Huppman from the feet of Tara Hansel. Kept, though, here in the 3-quarter zone. Trying to get turned is the 16, Alex Vanis. Loses control, and that's out the far sideline. Throw-in coming up for the D squad.
Well, it's slightly windier than it was beforehand, and you can definitely hear it coming into the microphones from our end.
It has cooled down a little bit.
Yeah. Hopefully we can stay away from the rain. You were broadcasting the actual weather report earlier, were you not?
That's right, yeah. The expectation, and all week we were expecting it to be pouring the entire morning and afternoon. We've been lucky here. As of yesterday, we finally saw a forecast that said it might hold off until at least 2. Now it says holding off till 5, so that's good news for us. Nyla Staples fed up the middle right away, and out comes the goalkeeper, Radia. Dives at her feet, but an immediate opportunity for San Joaquin Delta. Staples, the one, by the way, who had the goal nullified. She seemed to have equalized the semifinal last season between these 2 teams in the 75th minute, and a very, very close offside call denied her that.
Well, what you're seeing is I think both teams are coming out a little bit flat defensively, just not necessarily organized quite yet. They don't know exactly how the offenses are going to be pushing
that is
and attacking.
Quite a leg on the number 18 there, Kendra Kurth.
Both teams are still trying to understand what's going on between each other, I think.
I would imagine, and certainly for Santiago Canyon, they've seen a lot of these Delta players. It is mostly the team from last year. As for Delta, on the other hand, they're looking at a whole new club. Only 4 players here that participated in the final, or the state final and the final last season for Santiago Canyon. Just Kurth, the Ashley Ross Kelly, Miranda Lopez, and Tara Hansel. And most of them in substitution roles. Miranda Lopez, the only starter from the Final Four last year that has returned to the fold for the Hawks. Another free kick here. And again, Kurth will put her boot through it, falling over on the left wing.
You know what's amazing about that? That ball was actually supposed to go a lot farther. It caught the wind. You could see it slow down.
Indeed, attempt to clear there off of Brianna Diaz. Salyer out to claim.
Pretty good job by Salyer just to move out of her box and attack the ball right there. That's a do-or-die situation for a goalkeeper, and it seemed relatively harmless because there's really nobody in the way of getting a clear shot on goal. But that was a pretty good move to get the soccer ball.
Jay Herr throwing her body around a little bit. Smallest player on the field, 4'11" if I remember correctly.
Wow.
But plays an awful lot bigger than that.
Do not let anybody tell you cannot play despite your size.
And we've seen that already today, too. Valdivia from Lake Tahoe, 5'1", holding midfielder. Herr throws herself around in a slightly different area of the field, a right wing, rather. Now, the big player to watch on the Delta side is unquestionably going to be Jalen Mesa, the 5. For Santiago Canyon, it's a little more of a mystery. They spread their goals around quite a bit. The ball put to the feet of Helenihi. She manages to touch it through the arrival of a defender. Now tries to square this up. Swing and a miss by a Delta defender, and it's Tara Hansel who takes a rip from the top of the 18-yard box. That goes wide and high, though, of Salyer's goal.
Yeah, that was a great move down the left wing, and as she had her man beat, and all she had to do was cross it, and she did just that. It was just a poor finish on the end result. Coming in with the left foot, I was wondering, did she just miss time? And it appeared that she did. It wasn't necessarily just a warrant kick that she was trying to go top bin per se. I think she actually missed the ball.
Hansel, along with Helenihi and Diaz, all on 8 goals to lead the team. Also gotten 7 from Ashley Ross Kelly out of the midfield. Another Delta foul here, and this is something they are somewhat renowned for. San Joaquin Delta lead the state in yellow cards, and it's not even close. They've got 30 of them this season. Jay Herr leading the way with 6. I told you she likes to throw her body around.
Hey, don't be afraid to get dirty.
To put that in perspective, the other 3 teams here at the Final Four don't have 30 yellow cards between them.
Well, tactical fouls surely do play their part, and oh my goodness.
Hansel definitely gets a hold of that one, but the aim is, a little high.
The goal wasn't up there, is what I would
Hansel yet to find the back of the net here in the postseason. As we mentioned, Vanis and Helenihi, the scorers against Santa Barbara City College in round 3. I think you might be right about that isolated striker. I think
it looks like they're maintaining one man forward, and it's a very good it's a very good formation if you have a fast midfield or fast forward group, and that appears to be what they have.
Here is that lone striker, Vanis, getting served up the left side, forced into retro by the Delta defense as they look to try to get a handle on this game. Ashley Ross Kelly working over to the right side.
And look how fearless Russ is. She's just attacking all the way across that wing. I mean, that's one of your backs moving all the way across to get over there. That's got to be, it's got to be one of the most confident moves I've ever seen from a defender. She came all the way up with the right winger. Oh, man.
Ball put over the left side here. Nyla Staples trying to get to that. Staples working against the 7, Alba Diaz. Drop back to the keeper here. Clearance, though. Kylie Zentner getting stuck in on Ross Kelly, and she'll get the ball back for the Mustangs. Trying to put it through the legs of a defender is Jalen Meza. Cleared away from her. Drilled deep by Cindy Alvarez, met with the head of Staples, but she was offside. The flag up on the far sideline from Chris Arras.
That was a very easy call. And quick was the flag, and we'll reset. And it appears that Canyon has a really, really, really good faith in their goalkeeper. She's been on the end result of numerous balls coming back towards her so she could clear them out. And I would say that's the one area that Canyon would need to be very careful about, is making sure that you get good clearances on your balls out from the goalkeeper, because we had a situation just a second ago where she kind of wasn't very clear on it, and it almost resulted in some sort of offensive play by San Joaquin Delta.
So her battling over there on the right sideline with the 13, Maddie Myers. Manages to maintain possession, now loops the ball in, looking for Staples. She rises at the head, touched by the keeper. That's going to go over the back line and be the first corner kick of today's game here in minute number 8.
Another dangerous play forward, and you know, that's she had to get that out of bounds or in her possession. She was lucky enough to get it off, but I mean, she runs into her own defensive back there.
Now Staples, a pretty good target in the air. You usually don't try to find her on a hop, but that just about worked out there. Cindy Alvarez forward now as well. She's got a few goals off of corner kicks, 4 on the season. Here comes the ball down to the feet of Diana Hernandez. Her cross from the right side, snagged inside the 6 at her near post by Radia.
I think the ball almost went out of bounds. Actually,
very nearly.
She might have grabbed it over the line. Does a good job of containing it, and you know, she'll kick it away. And I mean, look, the ball gets up there and stops. There's not much distance to it. I mean, I know she kicked it very high, but that was one of those situations. You got a headwind above you, and you have a wind up on the field level. It's going to slow down the pace at which you're going to be able to kick long balls here. And that has to play into which direction you're playing towards.
And for Canyon, for sure, has a nice little move by Peter Pellet there to avoid interfering with the play. So it certainly means that for Canyon, they're going to be thinking, I think, about trying to make sure they survive this first half and get to play with the wind later. Here comes the attempted clearance off of Staples. That rolls right to the keeper. A lot of English on that.
Yeah. Well, generally speaking, your ball's going to get a lot of spin.
Wow. Quite a tangle at the midfield stripe there between Hannah Ross Kelly and Kylie Zentner.
I'll get it in a second on the replay if we have a chance of that
time,
and I think we do.
I think they were both giving as good as they were getting on that one. Zentner cutting a ball off from Ross Kelly. Here comes the ball up the left side looking for Jalen Meza, and she's got speed to burn. Working her way up against the defender. Last touch, let's see, is by the 11 there, Caitlin Lopez. So a throw in to come here for Delta in the attacking third from the left. Aaliyah Raphael, who enjoys working her way up the field in general in the attack, to take this. Glancing header by Staples. That'll come to Meza. She fires for the top left corner. Caught by Radia right there.
That was a good attempt on goal. They had everything set up the right way. She just wasn't able to get nearly enough height on it, and the goalkeeper was able to just come up and pluck it out of the sky.
Now, Meza was the scorer of the one goal that San Joaquin Delta did get in last year's semifinal. It was off of a free kick from, well, actually almost the same spot where the original glancing header came from. Very tight angle, or as Coach Sorensen called it, Jalen Meza doing Jalen Meza things. That little kick from about hip height, I'd say, would qualify as trying some Jalen Meza things. About 45 yards from goal. Meza getting set up for this. 4 Delta Mustangs on the goal line, make it 5. Here comes the ball in. That is going to go straight to Radia from there.
Wow, that was a lot of power behind that one, and it ended up right at the goalkeeper's hands. There's really nothing she could do after the ball left her foot. Maybe put a little more spin on it is the only thing I can ask, but that had the power, certainly.
And certainly with it getting a little chillier here, the potential for cold hands and, for that matter, nervous hands.
Yeah, absolutely.
We saw a little of that in the Tahoe Mesa game earlier.
That can always play into effect, and I don't think the referee will resume things here. I think there's a little bit of an unfair challenge that he saw in the midfield there.
Interesting wrinkle here from Delta. Most of this season, Diana Hernandez has she's oscillated between the lines, but they're starting her in the deeper lying position, more the fantasista than the center forward. She's coming up here to try to challenge, commits a foul in the process. Looking to get that ball back.
Yeah, you're going to get that every single time the moment you turn around. It's very similar to basketball in the same way. It's like the moment that the person going after the ball is turned around and you try to make it a challenge or a tackle on them, you're gonna immediately get a whistle. No harm, no foul. It's not a flagrant or,
well, no harm but a foul.
Yeah, no harm but a foul. Yeah, exactly. Easy call for the ref.
Ball into possession of Kylie Zentner in the center circle. And she'll look to spring Mesa down the left. She split 2 defenders with it. Goalkeeper's going to sit back, and that ball is going to run a little too long.
Just too fast. But you see her hold up her hands there after the ball went wide. She goes, "That's the right decision. I like where your head is," because that was exactly what she wants to do. And you notice you have your center forward also right up there in the middle. She was tracking just as well. So there was an easy pass inside if they were able to get that pass through.
Zentner trying to feed the center again. Diana Hernandez is going to beat the defender to it. And now a change of the point of attack over to the right side looking for Jay Herr. That takes one big hop. Herr gets to it, turns and tries to fire across from the right side, but that is going to go over the back line first.
That was a little bit, I think she should have settled it down and tried to find a pass out of it. But, when you think you got a shot on goal, maybe can't resist the top bin.
Well, she's certainly somebody who's capable of providing assists
Absolutely.
as well. Led the team in that last year with 14. She's got 4 this season. They've had her play a little bit more of a forward role. I think she tucked in a little more to the midfield in 2018, but certainly has that mindset a lot of the time. And so I think that was an attempt to pull it back into the 6.
Oh.
Either way, over the back line.
I'll take your judgment on it. You call soccer more often than I do. Haven't been completely out. We've been calling a lot of arena soccer here at SoCal College Sports.
Oh, that's right. Diana Hernandez wins another meaty challenge in the midfield. The Santiago Canyon player, the worst for it. Hernandez flying up the right side, but shows too much of it to the back line.
That's a really good pass, actually.
That is Kendra Kurth again, the one we've seen bombing the free kicks forward, who cleared that almost into an attacking chance immediately for Alex Vanis.
I call it a pass, but really, that was it was just a ball forward, and it. Defenders, all you had to do is have somebody who could get an angle on it. And that's good to see coming from Canyon here. I actually really like the fact that they're pressing forward again. They're a little bit stale there offensively, and San Joaquin Delta was starting to press on the attack, and they had the soccer ball on the Canyon side of the pitch for probably 10 minutes at least after the first initial 4 minutes of the game.
And certainly the idea to get more numbers forward and to press a little more heavily, and try to win the ball back. These are some lessons that Coach Sorensen and her staff learned from the first time they met Santiago Canyon. Ooh, here's a potential giveaway at the back as Mesa was crashing in. Ball cleared, gets caught up in the wind. Aaliyah Raphael having a little trouble judging it, but she manages to get to it.
No, she just gets it away, and
Alvarez is going to try the same thing, and this time the wind may not help. The wind is going to take it all the way to Ravia.
I was going to say, I saw the goalkeeper running for him go, I don't know about that. It might bounce with a little more velocity than you thought it was going to.
Another coming together at the center of the pitch between Zentner and I think one of the Ross Kellys.
That was 2 gray jerseys, it looked like, as well. Well, here they go down the left wing again.
The ball put in towards the left edge of the 18, fired and deflected away, and now a goal line clearance from Aaliyah Raphael. Controlled by Delta. Nice cool head there from their players, and Jalen Meza takes a blow and needs a moment to collect herself.
Referee says play on. Wow.
Recovered by Ashley Ross Kelly. Drop back to Lopez. Now out wide to the left side for Helenihi, trying to accelerate into the left corner of the box. Here comes a cross in, looking for the runner in the 6. Cleared away and now hoofed back towards Salyer, and I think she's just let that go out of play for a goal kick.
And that was a dangerous pass across the middle of the box. You see her running in along the right wing, and she made that nice little cut in, and she had her man beat by probably a half step, but lucky on the end of San Joaquin Delta to be able to clear it away.
Look out for the speed of Nyla Staples, helping to create a turnover and gets the ball back for a Delta throw in here. A long looping ball took 2 gigantic bounces and gave the Canyon defenders a little something to think about. Comes the toss into the chest of Jalen Mesa. Tries to turn that around a defender. That was a neat little move.
Yeah.
Raphael trying to feed a ball in. Can't get through the first line of defense. Hernandez working on it. Good run off of the shoulder there. Hernandez is going to take a rip, though, from about 25 yards. Didn't quite get down in time.
She had plenty of leg on it, though, let me tell you. Oh, goodness. Goodness gracious.
Yeah, a boot like that, you figure sign her up for the football team once her eligibility's over in soccer.
Well, man, the more I watch Jalen Mesa play on this this left wing here, the more I actually like the style of play. She made that nice little move here a second ago. I mean, yeah, she's dangerous. You got to watch her here on this left wing because I have the feeling that she might be doing something pretty impactful here later in this game if San Joaquin Delta keeps up this attack.
Certainly wouldn't surprise me. 18 goals, 7 assists this season.
No.
She, as we said, scored the free kick last year, had 11 goals, 8 assists in her freshman season, so right from the get-go. Throw in coming up the right side. Nyla Staples trying to get that to move a little further up the line. Cut off. Santiago Canyon in possession now in the center circle and looking to spring a counterattack, trying to find Brianna Diaz. Cut out neatly there, however, by the arrival of Brooklyn Grabato. Good sliding play, though, by the 11, Caitlin Lopez, to take the ball away. Drifting over towards Diaz on the right. Great sliding play. It's Grabato again. Ball up the right side here, cut off by Delta's defense. Santiago Canyon growing a little bit in possession these last 5 minutes or so. Ball looped forward. Alex Vanis getting to it near the edge of the 18. May have used an arm to control, but Peter Pellet says all fine by him. Trying to slide across in on the baseline, but cleared. I think it may have taken a deflection initially, and so.
Well, that's the danger. That's the danger of Santiago Canyon is that every single time that they've come forward, they've had not only free players in the middle of the box, but they've been able to find free passes, and they haven't been challenged very hard. So on the few attempts that they've had forward, they've been very dangerous in the way that they're attacking here. So something to watch out for.
Yeah, up to this point, just the difficulty wrapping the foot properly around it so far. A couple of good-looking chances aimed at Tara Hensel, but unable to direct them on frame. And
they're going to get another chance on goal here with a corner kick. So it's definitely seeming in the way, seeming that Santiago Canyon is really pressing this attack in an intelligent way, as opposed to just throwing bodies at the cause here.
Brianna Diaz with the cross in towards the back post. That'll be headed down, takes a pop, and it's in the back of the net. Goal! Minute number 20, the Hawks on top.
Well, what you're going to see here is the result of a very well-designed corner kick play, and this is ultimately what happens when you stack a whole bunch of players on the outside of the box there, and all of a sudden you get some sort of confusion as the ball comes in, and you're trying to figure out who's marking who, but the offense has already decided where they want to pick out the header, and they get the ball into the goal, and that was a beautiful first goal and opener here for Santiago Canyon.
We're going to need to wait, I think, for the public address voice to let us know who got that one in the back of the net. Never quite turned their back to us to get a look at a number.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance exactly. Well, let's see if we can try to pick it out. So here we go.
It looks to be, I think it might have been the 8, Ashley Ross Kelly, actually.
Yeah, it might have been. I would agree with you, Joe. I think that's who it was. I can't tell if the other player who was involved, I couldn't see her number, possibly number 23 here. Was also involved up front because I saw a blonde ponytail, or a bun, as they would say, also moving forward. So I'm not entirely sure.
No, and of course, in this case, our camera had exactly the wrong angle to tell which of the two made contact. At least provisionally, we'll give that to the 25, Ashley Ross Kelly from Brianna Diaz, in minute number 25. And just like that, the defending state champions on top.
Minute 20.
20, my mistake. Correct, minute number 20.
And here they go, pressing the attack again. This is dangerous when you're 1-0. The defense needs to make sure they don't become 2-0. However, we did have a discussion last night as we were discussing these broadcasts. You know, sometimes 2-0 is the most dangerous lead to have in all of soccer. I mean,
maybe all of sports.
Yeah, all of sports. So many things can go wrong when you get confident with that kind of differential.
Well, the big thing that's going to be a challenge here for Delta is I just think that the emotional letdown. You know, they've been building this game up for certainly for the last 6 days, since
yes,
they've known
absolutely.
that it was a possibility that it might happen. But in general, the idea of trying to get back to this point and succeed here where they struggled 1 year ago, to take the punch in the face, as it were, they're going to have to find a little something special to respond to it. First off, they just need to kind of get control of the game again. Obviously, an immediate equalizer would be the dream for Delta, but not necessarily what they absolutely have to have at this time. Long ball met in the midfield here, knocked down by the 11, Lopez.
Now, Delta really needs to focus on coming together inside that 8-meter box and trying to condense where their defense is and make a solid wall. You know, you saw on the one goal, or on the goal that they scored in other occasions, their defense gets scattered out and tries to mark people outside, and that's really ultimately at a baseline, exactly where they're going wrong on that defensive lineup, and they just need to figure out how to condense their back line, their backs, and get the ball in front of them as opposed to behind them, because you saw them get the ball behind, and at that point it was over. The ball had already ended up in the back of the net.
2 players in for the Mustangs at this point, the 12, Shayna Hummel, and the 3, Avina Klein, replacing Diana Hernandez and Kylie Zentner in the midfield. It's a pair of players that Coach Sorensen said would probably start on most other Big 8 teams, but they are so sophomore-laden on this squad, particularly in the midfield, that the 2 of them have had to embrace super sub roles. Here's a ball played over to the left wing. That's going to take a couple of big hops and be claimed, and she's outside of her 18-yard box. That's going to have to be a free kick. Oh, my word.
What in the world? Hold on. I have a perfect view of that.
That certainly looked, and that certainly looked for all the world like she drifted out of her 18 with that ball.
I don't know.
We need a zoom.
You guys, well, yeah, I wish I had the zoom function here. I don't have it hotkeyed.
Her feet, without doubt, are outside the box.
Absolutely.
That should have been a free
kick. I don't know where the ball
is. Oh, boy.
Oh, man.
And with San Joaquin Delta already having a little bit of a chip on their shoulder about a refereeing decision that was close and went against them last year, I can't imagine that they want to see something like that.
Yeah. Goodness.
Staples forward. That is chested out of play by the Santiago Canyon defender, Caitlin Lopez. Raphael trying to play on Nyla Staples with the throw-in, claimed here by the substitute Hummel.
It's really nice having all the play right here in front of us. You know, it makes it so much easier to call.
Extremely convenient. Delta losing out there on the throw-in.
That's great banter. Pardon my memory.
Reflected here, now flipped by the 13.
That's a good job to get it cleared out.
Haley Molinari also put into the game a moment ago. Comes the toss to the head of Molinari. Brought down by Klein, forward, and deflected by Hummel. Trying to work that into the center. Had Staples running off of it. Here comes the clearance.
Oh!
Again. Wow, a collision between Grabato and Tara Hansel here at the near sideline. Hansel coming up, looks like, well, not coming up at all at the moment, holding her right shoulder. Let's see what exactly we've got there. Hansel back to her feet.
And we didn't get the replay.
Well, unfortunate there that we don't have at least a look at that, but it'll be a moment here for Kendra Kurth to try to put another ball deep. She's got 6 goals and 1 assist. Got very happy memories of the Final Four. She was the assist woman on the title clinching goal against Lake Tahoe last year. Delta trying to get stuck in and win that ball back in their defensive zone. Succeed in peeling it off of Maddie Myers, but out for a Canyon throw, and they'll operate one of their first substitutions. They'll be putting in Emma Carton, sophomore forward out of El Toro. It's her first action since round 1, 3 goals, 2 assists on the season. Foul back there in the attack, and the ball back to San Joaquin Delta here. It's a little more than halfway through half number 1. Goal coming in minute number 20 from Ashley Ross Kelly, a header from a Brianna Diaz corner kick from the right. These two teams battling for the right to face Santiago Mesa on Sunday, with a title on the line. In the case of Canyon, an opportunity to try to defend it. In the case of Delta, a chance to try to win their first. Ball rattling around there. Gigi Soto not able to corral it. Staples, interesting touch to try to play on Hummel up the gut in a battle of 12. She'll lose out to Miranda Lopez. My mistake, the substitute earlier, not Carton. That is in fact Gigi Soto, the 10. Sophomore mid out of Chino Hills. Delta trying to work a little something on the right side, but can't quite keep possession as it goes out for a Canyon throw. Amina Munoz, meanwhile, into the game for Delta. Ball tossed up the right side. Trying to take that away from a defender there is the 15, Kiera Huppman. Huppman named by Adrian Sorensen, probably the unsung hero of this team, as defensive center mids often are. But somebody who has made a habit of finding some great range on her passes. Has come a long way as a defender, and rewarded in the game against Fresno with the assist on the goal. Scored very, very early in that one by Nyla Staples. Ball tossed up the right sideline, brought down here by, ooh, little spin move there by Avina Klein. Now tries to put a ball into space, running, getting on her horse there, but unable to beat the keeper to it. Number 13, Haley Molinari, as well as, that's again the 12, Hummel. One of Delta's things, they very much pride themselves on positional flexibility. A foul committed here in the midfield. In the meanwhile, Brianna Diaz thrown to ground. Free kick coming for Santiago Canyon. They pride themselves on a lot of defensive flexibility. They're able to interchange their positions pretty readily between the midfield and the forward lines, and we're seeing that as well from Hummel. Coach Sorensen mentioned that a tendency to play a little of the 6, a little of the 8, and like most of their midfielders, very, very happy, very willing to work her way up into the forward line as soon as Delta get possession. Again, the organization at the back, the issue so far here for the Mustangs is they've given up a couple of really good-looking chances, and of course have given up the first goal back in minute number 20. Trying to get back onto that is Klein. Taken away, though, Maddie Myers to put it back in with the throw. Taken near the edge of the 18, looking to get turned is Hansel, trying to work her way through Cindy Alvarez. Does manage to poke it towards the 6. Gigi Soto was waiting for it, but cleared from her feet. Now claimed by Klein, trying to find friendly feet. No dice, though. Ball cleared. And here comes Molinari. Does well to keep the ball in play, just over the head of Nyla Staples. Defense trying to handle it there. Molinari almost allowed to come in and get a steal. Long ball forward. Klein able to get to it. Some frustration from the crowd. Did you catch what that was about, Emery?
I think they said it was an unfair challenge on the side of on the side of Canyons, but I'm not entirely sure who was rooting for who, but I know they're very unhappy with the referee at the moment. That I think that all was sparked by the ball that was handled possibly outside of the box. So I don't know if they're getting frustrated at this point and, you know, expecting possibly a rebuttal call, but
well, Kendra Kurth has the ball banked off of her by Shayna Hummel. That'll be a San Joaquin Delta corner kick here in minute number 32.
Well, corner kicks are always dangerous, and this is an opportunity for Delta to game plan, and you see a couple new players coming on. Well, not new players, players who have been on the pitch, but
Exactly. Hernandez, her, and Meza back in, and the last of those particularly important at this point because Meza is their free kick specialist, or their dead ball specialist.
Yeah. Well, this is always dangerous, and look to see exactly what Kane's going to do inside the box.
Looking for the head of Alvarez, and it gets just by her.
Yeah, and that is exactly what I was expecting to happen. You know, you saw everybody kind of got crowded and didn't know what to do, and they all looked up and went towards the ball. And what that basically does is it takes your eyes away from the offensive player who's flying in, basically trying to take the ball out of the crown of their head. And they were lucky to get away with one there because that was very close.
So forearm into the back of the number 8, Ashley Ross-Kelly from Avina Klein. That'll be a free kick here for Santiago Canyon.
So the fans that are most immediately to our side here on our right, I would say that they are more or less upset with the play or the physical play that's going on in the middle of the field. We heard one person say thank you after the foul was called from the push in the back. I couldn't count which number it was, but that's what we're reading, at least from the crowd at the moment.
Okay.
He's saying they're saying he's letting them be too physical.
It's kind of remarkable to me that we didn't see a yellow card for that auto challenge earlier that knocked Tara Hansel to deck. And there's another shove inside the box.
That has to be a penalty.
And the referee has pointed to the dot.
Yeah. I don't think there's any clear representation of a penalty play quite like this. I mean, you see it here on the back end, and she just pushes her over while challenging for the ball. This is one of those situations where you see the ball come in, it's a free ball, and you cannot challenge the player in the box by pushing them out of the way to get towards it. And, well, ultimately, this is what you get. You get a penalty kick. And
so Ross-Kelly versus Salyer looking to make it a brace and a 2-0 Hawk lead.
Well, that would be nice, a brace on the day. Something we haven't seen quite yet.
Ross-Kelly fires, Salyer plays it onto the post.
Oh, my
ball's
goodness.
Still alive.
Wow.
And she manages to fall on it. My word. Saved first by the gloves, then by the woodwork.
Yeah.
Marcella Salyer keeps this at 1-0 rather, through 34 minutes.
Let's pull up super slow-mo vision, and she does a great job by diving the right way and is able to just to fall on it. That was a tremendous play.
That could be the kind of boost that Delta need here to try to get themselves back into the game. They'll look to play off that emotion right now. Diana Hernandez looking to hassle the defender, played through her legs, and out for a Delta throw.
Not exactly quite a nutmeg, but some style points on that knock out of bounds.
Raphael to put this back in, has Hummel showing for it, now Meza. Jalen Meza heads it on, Hummel trying to get there before it goes over the back line, and does, plays it to Hernandez near the corner flag. Tries the cute little heel flick right there, but does not get the deflection off the defender.
That was definitely a better approach forward from San Joaquin Delta. They haven't had that kind of energy going forward in a long while, and you figure we're 34 minutes into this contest, almost 35, and that was the first time that I'm seriously being impressed in a while by San Joaquin Delta. That means you need to get more players forward, and I'm not saying that for my opinion. I'm just purely commenting on.
Goal kick goes right to Diana Hernandez. Just doesn't quite stick to her foot. Double team comes here. Rafael and Meza able to take the ball away from the 10, Gigi Soto. Sliding challenge from behind by the 7, Jacqueline Alba Diaz. Wipes out Diana Hernandez.
Oh, wow.
And I believe the yellow has actually been given for protest. I don't think that was to Alba Diaz, but instead to the 8, Ashley Ross-Kelly, who is all over my score sheet.
Most definitely wasn't on the challenge, but you'll watch here. Referee awards the free kick. That was a pretty clear call, but then she comes in on protest.
Oh
no,
it's
the
kick away.
away.
There you go.
That'll get it done every single time.
It's a little early for time wasting.
Yeah, come on. All right, well, here we go. Free kick from the free kick specialist. Let's see what they can dial up here. Maybe make it a 1-1 even draw. We'll see.
A cluster of Mustangs over towards the right top corner of the box.
Yep.
Aaliyah Raphael, meanwhile, all by her lonesome over here on the left. We'll see if they elect to feed that instead.
Well, you're going to start crashing here in a second. We'll see what they do.
Meza looks like she's looking to put that on
Wow.
goal, and Radia catches that.
Actually, a pretty good shot on goal. It just happened to be a little more center than she wanted. I think she was looking for that top right corner of the post, and she ends up scoring it up too much. not a bad effort and actually the right idea in my opinion.
Well, particularly because if you hit that hard enough, especially in slightly colder conditions, maybe you get a rebound.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you saw everybody crashing forward, but they weren't crashing forward for a header. They were crashing forward for the rebound.
Chloe Helenihi in a clash over there at the left side of the box. Ball out, last touched by Delta. Corner kick here coming up for Santiago Canyon.
And another dangerous situation.
Indeed, well, they'll need to mark up the Hawks a little bit more effectively this time than they did back in minute number 20.
Yeah, we saw a lot of confusion going on, and then this is the dangerous part here because I think the organization on offense, I said it earlier, the organization on offense for Canyon has been so much better. They just seem like so much better composed in front of the goal. And I mean, with a scoreline like 1-0, it's not really evident. But
well, that's kind of why you have to be that much more composed. Here comes the cross in from Diaz, floating in, glancing header is going to carry it to the right side of the box.
That's a really dangerous corner right there, and very good on Delta to get the ball out, and you're going to see a card coming.
Allison Bischoff wiped out right there, and I don't think we're going to actually see the card.
Oh my goodness! Wow, ref says play on.
Well, to be fair, I can't look at that and say that was much worse than the Brooklyn.
No, I think that's the reason why he didn't award the card, but. My goodness, I mean, he's been relatively stingy with his cards today.
Yeah, a little more likely to card for violence against the ball against each other, apparently, at this point.
Show the card some love. Let's get some names on there.
Long ball is just over the head of Diaz in the midfield as she clashed with Hummel. Controlled by Cindy Alvarez. And look out here, Delta in danger of getting exposed because their center back is out of position. Brooklyn Grabato, the other center back, doing yeoman's work to make sure that ball forward did not reach a forward.
Did you just say yeoman's work?
I like that word.
Oh.
Long ball bouncing. Salyer a little slow to come out and try to claim it.
Well, keeping the books right and doing all the dirty work with making sure that everything is taken care of and looked at the right way by the book, and that's exactly the way she went about it.
Jalen Mesa swooping in and taking the ball away. Nice grapple between her, Soto, and the 11. That ball goes out, guarded by Caitlin Lopez, and it's a throw-in for Santiago Canyon. Looks like they lost control of that. Throw-in now going the other way to Delta.
No, she rushed it right there. She had all the time to throw it in, and she just went for it.
Ball popped up by Zentner. Little header ping-pong here. Diana Hernandez trying to bring it down. Shayna Hummel will control. Looking for the run over the right side by Allison Bischoff. Jay Herr trying to control in the center. Left now for Huppman. Kira Huppman. Her ball forward reflected. Grabato will go to claim. Looking to put this over the center line, but a bit too long there. Hernandez not able to reach. And Grabato having to make sure that she keeps Vanis from going off to the races. Huppman waiting for this one to come down. Final 5 minutes of half number one.
I was going to say with 5 minutes remaining in the half, and this has been
another collision as Jay Herr goes flying.
Relatively entertaining. I've enjoyed this first half of the game, and I especially enjoy it when it comes towards our side of the table.
Yeah, just so long as nothing hits the monitors.
My precious monitors.
But a really interesting first half so far. Just an immediate handful of attempts to get the numbers forward for Delta as they lose out on that chance. Ball driven by Kiara Huppman from near the right side of the midfield. But a few early opportunities for Delta. Looked a little sprightly there. Nyla Staples getting off to a couple of runs. But then, as you said, Emery, the composure and the organization of the attack and a little bit more chaotic, the organization of Delta in the back line, leading to that big scoring opportunity. But the bailout, Marcella Salyer, the big save on the penalty kick, really changing the entire tenor of things. Going down to the halftime break down 1-0 is going to feel an awful lot different than 2-0. If it stays that way, as the ball is put over the left side, looking for Gigi Soto. Good work again by Grabato to put that out.
A great job of getting it out of bounds. I mean, that stops an entire pressing attack that's coming in. You have very few people marked going up, so that was a very courageous play, and we'll see exactly how Canyon decides to attack this situation now. They're in the driver's seat at this point. especially when you're pushing down the field this many times and you have this much control. Delta's had only a handful of chances of pushing up, and I guarantee you that halftime conversation is going, girls, we gotta get together and get forward because we're definitely not doing it often enough.
Certainly the idea from what they learned from the last one, the ball played off of a Santiago Canyon forward and out for a goal kick. 3 minutes to go in half number 1.
Pending stoppage time.
Naturally. So again, if you're just joining us, it's Ashley Ross-Kelly, as best we can tell, in the 20th minute off of a Brianna Diaz corner kick, the lone goal in today's game. But Canyon, about 7 minutes ago, with a chance to double their advantage, denied from the dot by Marcella Salyer. Good work by Delta to earn the goal kick back here, the midfield stripe, and that one just carries a little too high for Aaliyah Raphael to get to it. Soto now there, played off of Raphael, and a throw in to come from the midfield stripe. Looks like Canyon want a sub.
And it appears to be, well, you have the wrong roster open. I was about to give the wrong number 20.
Oh, that would be Tara Hansel back in.
Tara Hansel should
which
be
is good to
back in.
see.
Yeah.
And welcome back to Cupertino, California, campus of De Anza. Our apologies for the technical difficulties that led to the stream dropping out. You didn't miss anything in the final couple of minutes of action there in the first half. We've reached the break 1-0. Just kind of summarizing what we saw in case you missed any of it. An early period of Delta exerting their will for a little while, throwing bodies forward, but the superior organization of the Santiago Canyon team allowing them to break down Delta in the middle portion of the half. And they managed to get their one goal so far today off the boot of Ashley Ross-Kelly, that coming from Brianna Diaz, this corner kick right here. That is the best we can tell at this point. It seems that she's the one who came through and got that, judging by the reactions. Although, as you have mentioned, there is a blonde ponytail coming through as well. But to the best we can tell, we're saying Ashley Ross-Kelly. The official scorer has just given it as a team goal, so no one seems to quite have any idea what they saw. But the big story towards the end is that unlike the game in round 2 for Santiago Canyon against Chafee, Ashley Ross-Kelly again getting an opportunity from the penalty dot and not able to convert it.
Yeah. Uncharacteristic from Canyon. Ordinarily, and especially the way they've been playing today, you'd assume that they're going to be able to convert on something like that. But, you got to credit the goalkeeper from San Joaquin Delta. She made an excellent dive, and obviously penalty kicks are 50% luck and about 10% skill and another 40% whether or not the soccer gods want you to score or not. And, yeah, exactly. It's more luck at that point. And, at the end of the day, penalty kicks are an enigma that we'll never understand. But, San Joaquin Delta, I have to admit, they need to continue to push forward, and they need to continue to have control of the ball. They're losing a lot in the midfield. They haven't been able to control it on the defensive side, and that's why you're noticing that the soccer ball is going to remain in their half of the field for a lot of the time. And so now that the field would be flipped and going the other way, we might have an opportunity to watch it on the offensive half again. But it seemed like they were able to push it all the way up. So I talk about it in quarters. The first quarter would be your end with the goal. The second quarter would be the quarter nearest to the half line. Mm-hmm. They've kept it in that second quarter, but they've never been able to push on to that final quarter.
Yeah, certainly not with any possession or a whole lot of pizzazz there. There have been a couple of nice little moments from Jalen Meza, but both of her free kicks have been directly into the belly of the goalkeeper. Ariana Radia not having an awful lot to do, although she was part of one of the more controversial moments, and we've certainly had some things being stirred up in here. Concern from the referee, both in terms of letting an awful lot of physical play slide, and then that opportunity that Delta feel they were denied, maybe at a free kick when she drifted out of her box.
I have the replay right here if you guys would like to see it. It was one of those plays where you have to ask yourself, I mean, how much is too much for the goalkeeper? Yeah, I'm gonna sting it over here. You'll guys see it in a moment. And you have to ask. Now, I know it's hard to see from maybe a small screen or a computer screen, but in that back corner, is she holding the ball out of bounds? Are her feet in? I can tell you with confidence that she was standing outside of the box. A matter of whether or not the ball was inside the box is another question, but
that's
she
the thing. And if the ball's outside the box, it's a free kick. If it's across the back line, it's a corner kick. Doesn't matter that she snagged it and held her feet in. This is not college football.
You see the referee point and say, yeah, that's fine. I could not believe that.
So, so some interesting moments here. We got about 2 minutes until we hit action again. And so we'll take a quick break here on SoCalCollegeSports.com and be right back with you for half number 2. Second half almost ready to get underway. Santiago Canyon leading 1-0 over San Joaquin Delta on a goal in the 20th minute by Ashley Ross Kelly from Brianna Diaz. Of course, flip in the field now. Santiago Canyon will be attacking from right to left across your scroll bar after they kick things off here for the final 45 minutes, unless, of course, we end up level. We'll just keep on playing until we've got ourselves a winner. It's been a message from Coach Adrian Sorensen of the San Joaquin Delta team throughout this season that sometimes things take a little longer than you'd like. For the first half here, I think Delta had a goal to try to get out and attack immediately. It has taken a little bit longer to get straight there. Jalen Meza trying to get something running right off the bat. Her ball to Nyla Staples is cleared hard up the field. And now put down the left side looking for Alex Vanis. She's gotten the step on Brooklyn Grabato, but Grabato gets back in there, pokes that away. Throw in to come from the attacking third.
Well, just like that, San Joaquin Delta immediately putting on the pressure, but then giving the ball away on a quick breakaway. And that's where they have to be careful. Again, you know, Canyons has shown time and time again in this game that they're very collected and organized, and they definitely have, you know, their heads on their shoulders in a good capacity. Now we come for the throw-in. It'll be interesting to see how they want to game plan this. They've actually thrown the ball into the box multiple times here, so I'm not surprised to see if this is the game plan here.
A long run to come here from Caitlin Garcia. This ball heading towards the 6, headed straight down, I think, off Kylie Zentner. That'll go out for a corner.
Here we go. Just a second opportunity here early on. We're only 1 minute into the second half, and just like that, again, Canyon is on the attack. And I think that might have been their conversation during halftime as well. Press on the attack. Do not give up. Continue to push them and score another goal here and put this game away.
There's Diaz, a couple shoves in the box. 3 players end up on the deck. No foul given either way. Ball comes back out to the 13, Maddie Myers. Myers banks that off of a Delta player. Throw in comes immediately to Vanis. Here comes the cross to the edge of the 6.
That was dangerous.
Claimed by Salyer. Pardon me, Callie Crane actually has entered the game for San Joaquin Delta in goal. Jay Herb bouncing right off of Brianna Diaz as she tried to claim the ball, looking to work a 1-2 around Bischoff with Helenihi as Diaz, but Bischoff able to resist the arrival of the 23, now poked from between her legs. Ball rolling, and will be given as a goal kick.
Has to step in.
Apparently my ears aren't working.
Step into the fourth set. Relief pitcher right here.
Was never my forte, as this one goes long. Nacarado misses long. And Mike Zabeda's going to take over here now, I believe.
He's coming back. Mike is coming back. So is Cabrillo coming back. Let's see.
And everyone, I did want to updating everybody as we see a big swing from Ellie Carey again, 21-15 now. Cabrillo trails it. Want to give you an update as to what's going on at the 3C2A Women's Soccer Championship. I believe it's San Joaquin Delta and San Diego Mesa. Now, there was a power surge. We are dealing with inclement weather. There was a power surge. So right now we are dealing with the elements up in San Jose, Cupertino area. As Shani Lipscomb gets it to 3 points away from forcing a set 5 for Grossmont, but because of that, we wanted to keep the stream going, apprise you of the situation, didn't want to have some dead air out there for you, so we're bringing you live coverage on the 3C2A Women's Soccer Championship of Women's Volleyball here from Southwestern.
All these balls, everything's, all the different sports going on at once.
Well, unfortunately, Mother Nature having other ideas right now as we are having some equipment difficulties and everything factoring in at the soccer field. 3 points away from forcing a set 5 is Grossmont.
Good serve there.
Carey again with a beauty. Lease off of the hand of Sol. There was a touch there for sure. Absolutely a touch off of Sol here.
It looked like it there on the replay.
We have it. Let's go to camera. We'll see camera 2 here. Let me see 2. There's for sure a touch here and a redirect. You'll see it there.
Yep, for sure.
And the point did go, or did they replay it?
No, now it's now set point.
Now it's set point.
For Grossmont.
I think the point did go in favor of Cabrillo. I think there was an overrule. So set point now. Point. Here's hit with an ace to close out set 4, and we're heading to 5 in quarterfinal number 2, Grossmont and Cabrillo. Stay tuned, everybody.
Carey thought it was long, and it looked like it hit just that back of the back line for the ace.
Welcome back in here to Southwestern College. Matt Robinson, Robert Lewis here with you as we get you set for a fifth and deciding set between Grossmont and Cabrillo here. And it's been a good one so far, Robert.
Great match. Ellie Carey, 25 kills. She's hitting .460. She has 4 aces, 4 digs, 3 blocks. An amazing individual match for this All-American. And then on the other side, Grossmont, Shani Lipscomb, 14 kills, 5 aces, 7 digs, and Haley Morton at setter, 44 assists in 4 sets.
Just a ridiculous number.
And 10 digs, and having a great match so far, and this should be a heck of a fifth for these two teams.
Kendra List to start us off here. We'll power it in. Grossmont on the slide play, kept off the floor. List a tough one. They keep it inside the antenna, but it's a free ball and an attack here for Grossmont. Inside set and a kill. Good swing from Brooklyn Anderson.
And that's Brooklyn Anderson's 10th kill, and she only has 16 attempts in the entire match.
It's pretty good average right there. Haven't gone to her a lot. As this one floated in from Haley Morton. Kept off the floor as it was blocked at the net partially by Grossmont. Swing here for Lipscomb. Did not go down, and then that one into the tape. And it results in a point for Grossmont once again. As another swing error for Cabrillo off the near side. I believe it was Liss on the swing error that time. Martineau floated in. Liss handles the first one, a tough handle on a short serve. Played over by Cabrillo. Inside set for Grossmont as they kept it up. And there's Brooklyn Anderson right back again.
Clutch points for Anderson. And almost all of her kills in this match have been in key situations for the Griffins.
As Morton floats it in again. They'll set far side to the strong side. It was blocked off the swing by Bingham. And then it results in a side out in favor of Grossmont once again. I think it was a net violation potentially. I didn't see what the signal was.
Looked like it, and now it's 4-0 lead for Grossmont.
There's a quick start here in the 5th set. Good inside set. Good job to run the offense. Find Isabella Bush right on the inside. She just powers it down.
Bush up to 8 kills and 6 blocks.
As we go back to the service area. Souza sends it in. Tough set. Good follow-up to just bump it over, but it's a free ball and an attack here for Cabrillo. They set far side. Stuff block. Actually,
Ellie Carey
right there, and they actually give her the point.
Now she's up to 26 kills.
Able to just get it over the net, and that's just the power of Ellie Carey that we've seen so much today. It's another short serve in. Good swing off the far side. Carly Gonzalez that time with the kill.
That was Gonzalez. And she has 8 kills.
So numbers getting high. That's what will happen in a 5th set. A lot of ladies on each side approaching double digits as Gonzalez sends it in. Tough handle. But they'll set Bush.
And another kill for guess who?
No, Ellie Carey.
27.
So far, she is the star of the show here for Cabrillo.
She only has 2 attack errors, 1 on a bump play.
That's pretty impressive as a soft touch does not go. It was there, and then Carey just tools it right off the block. 2 were up there. Lipscomb was one of them, and Carey just pounded it off her.
Was a 4-0 lead, now it's 5-4.
Now all of a sudden, right back. Real quick here as Cabrillo sends it in. Soft touch down the line, did not connect, and it's another Cabrillo point. And what do you know, it's 5-all. So Grossmont off to a hot start, but Nacarado on the serve here just keeps pounding him in and makes it tough on Grossmont. We're even at 5. Nacarado serve short, kept up, soft touch, stays off the floor, and Cabrillo will just play it off the tape and down. It was Carey trying to walk backward and hit it over the net. You take a look at it here, and just, I don't know if there's anybody that could make that play. So we'll head back to the service line. Anderson will send it in and send it long, so it'll go back to a Cabrillo point, and they will serve once again. Score tied at 6. Quick moving here in the 5th set.
Cabrillo is 4-2 this year in 5-set matches. Grossmont 1-2.
Good dig off the backside from Souza. Grossmont gets another attack, though. That time tooled off the block on a good swing by Lipscomb as she pounded it off Ellie Carey and gives Grossmont the 7-6 lead. And it'll be Lipscomb back to serve. She'll send it in. Carey handles the first. They'll set Carey on the inside. She pounded it off the block. Kept off the floor by Cabrillo, and they get the kill. Did Grossmont off the inside. Soul able to knock it down, and a timeout. Or actually, excuse me, we rotate here at 8-6.
Exactly.
Here in the 5th set.
They always switch at that point. And another player for Grossmont that has stepped up in this match is Natalie Soul. And she's only had 15 swings, 9 for kills. And again, just like Brooklyn Anderson, picking the right times in this match to make a difference. Right now, 8-6 game in this 5th set. Can't ask for anything better at a state championship tournament.
As you can't get much better than this, we go right back to work. As it's Lipscomb back to serve, she'll send it in. Carey on a soft touch, didn't get it to fall. Grossmont gets an attack here, and a net violation called against Cabrillo, and it gives the point to Grossmont. Yep. I wasn't sure who went into the net.
Let's see. Let's take a look in the replay. Oh, boy.
Ooh, that looked like a couple of people from each side went into the net, so.
Kind of surprised on that call. Let's see.
We'll take another look here. I'm not sure. I
don't know if I'm going to call that one there. It's again.
Well, I thought Leilua.
I like using other sport analogies, but sometimes you get a little.
Maybe
close,
Carey just rubbed the net.
But you're looking at the point of the match, and it's.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
It becomes a three-point game right here in a 5th set.
And remember, we only played a 15 in the 5th set.
Very tough to. You really want to let the players decide it. I don't know if that's a call I want to make there. I might let that go.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. I mean, maybe Carey comes down just on it, or it actually was. I think it was Liss on the block that might have just rubbed the net. But it wasn't much. It was very thin.
And you got to give the referees credit too. They're always on top of it. They're going to make the call, and they make it definitive. There's not a lot of overrules.
Yep.
They're very definitive on their calls.
So we go back to work 9-6 here in favor of Grossmont, as Lipscomb will go back to serve once again. The sophomore out of San Diego will float it over. Set to Ellie Carey, and she gets it down cross corner to the back corner.
Just a wonderful hitter.
And it makes you, she has just so much power.
It's not just the power, it's that she's able to place it.
Yep.
Always able to place it in the back line or on the sides. And
see her dial it up here. This is always fun to watch. And she'll drive that one into the net. Wow, rare service error from Carey. Maybe just a little too much, gives the point back to Grossmont.
Well, you live and die on that aggressive serve. There's not a lot of margin for error there.
So Griffins will send it over. Inside set. Touch not made, as it's a swing error from Souza.
Grossmont inching closer.
It's 11-7 in favor of the Griffins. Carey way from the back with a set. It's put over by Cabrillo. Griffins trying to set inside. It's kept up. Joust at the net, pushed over. Another joust at the net. And this time a net violation called against Cabrillo. Gives Grossmont another point, and they are moving even closer, 12-7 the score.
And there's Natalie Saul in the middle. Again, nice play on her left hand on that shot.
Cabrillo sets. carry, and it's kept up. Great dig by Grossmont. And then a swing error. They can't finish it off. Lipscomb just trying to jump from the back row. Doesn't get it to go. Just watch Carey dial it up.
Swing.
A good dig by the libero.
That's a Courtney hit on that. He's trying to get out of the way.
Here's Grossmont with another attack, this time blocked. Another swing, and this time the point for Grossmont. As we take another look here. Good job at the net to get the block initially. And then they'll set far side to Souza, and she gets it to go.
And a timeout now. 12-9.
12-9 here in the fifth set. We'll take a break as we come back here on SoCal College Sports. Welcome back into Southwestern College. Matt Robinson, Robert Lewis here with you as we continue on fifth set action, 12-9 in favor of the Griffins. Cabrillo with the serve here, trying to keep things alive. The Seahawks just trying to hang around here in this fifth set. Ball played in. Roll shot does not work from Lipscomb. Inside set blocked. The Seahawks with another chance. This time the soft touch does not fall. And Grossmont gets the big swing.
Sol again. And a couple of big, huge kills in this fifth set.
Out of that middle blocker position, and she just pounds it right off the block. Liss couldn't get up high enough to get there. And a timeout called by Cabrillo. We're going to take it to 13-9 in favor of the Griffins here from Southwestern College at the Women's Volleyball Championships here in Chula Vista. We come back in here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. 13-9 in favor of the Grossmont Griffins, and they have the ball to serve, trying to get their rotation set here. Natalie Sol comes back on the floor. I think Brooklyn Anderson was out there and wasn't supposed to be, trying to just get everything set up here.
You know, if you want to know a difference between two offenses, Ellie Carey has 29 kills for Cabrillo. No one else with double digits. 4 players for Grossmont have double digits in kills. Lipscomb, Leilua, Anderson, and Sol. With Lipscomb's 15 leading the way.
And that's the spread offense right now from Grossmont, paying dividends. They lead 13-9.
And Haley Morton approaching 50 assists.
Exactly. I mean, just she's run the offense incredibly today. As the inside set blocked,
Bush.
but
Isabella Bush.
it had enough roll on it from Isabella Bush to get down. And so we'll go back to the other side. Played in by Liss. Grossmont going to set strong side into the tape, punched over. As they say, it was blocked, so it'll give Cabrillo a chance.
Again.
And right from the inside, Isabella Bush once again. You called it, Robert. Just right down the middle. That short little set, tough to set up for from the defense. And it's right back to a 2-point set here in the 5th. Slide play does not work that time as Anderson had it dug out.
Who are they going to go to? They went to
Souza, and she couldn't get it to go. Anderson will
big
set it over.
save by
Good.
Nacarado.
And Nacarado with another good
And
dig.
another Bush kill.
And she just has brought her team right back. It's a 1-point game here in the 5th set. Credit Nacarado. She dives to get the dig,
Huge
and that
dig.
keeps the play
Huge
alive.
Dig. 13-12, huh?
As Liss will send it over. Slide play again. This
Big
time
kill.
it goes. Brooklyn Anderson with a good swing on that slide. Haven't seen a lot of it today, but she finds a way that time.
Match point, 14.
Griffin serving for it here. Floated in, handled, punched over the net, and that's it. It doesn't go. Liss tried to punch it over, catch the defense sleeping, but the Griffins get the win. Cabrillo knocked off as Grossmont comes away 15-12, 3 sets to 2 here in game number 2 of the quarterfinals.
Really impressive performance by both teams. You know, that old saying of shame to have a loser, but Cabrillo played their butts off,
Absolutely.
especially Carey and Bush. Bush had 10 kills and 7 blocks, and Carey with the 29 kills. But yeah, Grossmont, just a balanced attack. And like you said, Haley Morton stepping up as the setter, just distributing the ball to so many different,
running the offense.
different hitters across. And you got to, Grossmont deserves to go. They're a South number 2 seed, and now they're advancing.
So they move themselves forward in the bracket with a 3 sets to 2 victory over Cabrillo. And that's going to set this one up, and we'll get you ready for the next one. After this, we'll take a quick break here from Southwestern College.
It's a final in 5. Grossmont moves on over Cabrillo. Talk about Grossmont out of the gate early. They win the opening set decisively, but then drop the next 2, win the 4th, force 5, and then with the win in the 5th set, 15-12. Well, leading the way for everyone in kills was Ellie Carey, 29 kills in a losing effort for Cabrillo, but a very well-balanced attack for Grossmont. Sol with 10 kills, Carly Gonzalez with 8 kills, Lipscomb with 15, Anderson with 12, and Leilua with 11. And the Griffins move on to tomorrow's semifinal, and they will, I believe they will play the winner of our opening match here today, which was Feather River. So
We thought it might be an all-north semifinal in this bracket. Cabrillo played really well. They took that 2-1 sets lead. Carey was on fire. Isabella Bush doing a great job at the net. And again, Grossmont's this resilient team. They came back and they distributed the ball just like they did in that opening set.
Yeah.
The first set they hit 424. They had 14 kills, and in those last couple of sets they were on fire. Grossmont finished hitting at 294 in a 5-set match. That's pretty impressive. And Natalie Sol, 10 kills in just 17 attempts, 471. Brooklyn Anderson, 12 kills in 21 attempts, 429. Lipscomb, she only had 15 kills, and she hit 186, but she did have 5 service aces. And Haley Morton, 4 kills on dumps, 50 assists, 11 digs. That's my MVP for Grossmont in this match is Haley Morton, the setter.
Yeah, the setter. I thought Amber Colton was incredible in terms of keeping plays alive. The libero for Grossmont just really paid dividends. And you go back to Cabrillo, you have Ellie Carey with 29, but the next closest player in kill numbers is Isabella Bush. And then Ashley Souza only with 7 kills. And as a team, 48 kills, and unfortunately, when you're going up against that much firepower on the Grossmont side, they're going to be a tough team to beat. But they almost they were up 2-1 going into set 4, and it looked like momentum was decidedly in their favor. But Grossmont able to hold on and come back and rally in 5 in a very hotly contested matchup. But going into that 5th set, it looked like Grossmont really was able to solidify control after a big win in that 4th, and they move on. That'll do it for our coverage here in quarterfinal number 2. We will see Fresno City and Elko in our next match coming up here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. We would like to update you on the going-ons of women's soccer up in Cupertino at De Anza College. It's San Joaquin Delta going down to Santiago Canyon College 1-0, and that will do it. And again, apologies, technical difficulties. Did have a power surge dealing with the elements at the field, and we were unable to bring you the conclusion of that game. But again, 1-0. Santiago Canyon moves on with the defeat of San Joaquin Delta. They punched their ticket and will play in the championship match on Sunday. For everyone here at SoCalCollegeSports.com, we'll join you in a little bit on our other stream, Elko, El Camino taking on Fresno City. Thank you for watching, everybody, and take care.